Hello everyone, welcome to my chamber guide on Ascent for defense in particular. We're not going to worry about offense today, just doing defense. So, let's get right into it. The first TP I would like to demonstrate is this one.
All set up.
Okay, this TP is an anchor that is very useful for a number of scenarios. So first off, let's say it's pistol round, okay? I like to throw a slow orb. Here. Actually, before we get started, let me demonstrate all my slow orb spots I like to do. There's not many on A site or B site, sorry, that I run, but that one is one. I like to throw one here, but here's the thing: you do not want to throw it in this corner right here. Okay, you want to push, you want to bring it out a little bit to about, say right here. And the reason why is if somebody's pushing up through here and you have one here, like in the corner, like right in there, that is not going to trigger until they're about right here. And at that point, it's going to trigger them, and it's going to slow them about right here. And at that point, they can already shoot you if you're holding this angle, or your teammate. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to leave your teammates out to dry. You don't want to leave yourself out to dry. You want to know well ahead of time when somebody's pushing through mid and have pushed up so far. So I would pop this little guy out a little bit, give yourself a little time, and keep everybody safe. Okay. Anyway, I like to have that trap down. I like to have this trap down, and one other trap I really like to have. You could throw one in here in this corner if you needed, but generally this one will do a good enough job on its own. I like to have another one here sometimes when I play certain teleports, but we'll talk about that in a second. So, another one you could have is right in here as well, but I digress. This anchor is great for a number of things. You can peek mid, you can also peek here, and have the ability to teleport away. You can play here, but if I'm playing this corner, I can tuck in here. I can play off my my trap there, my trademark, and as soon as it goes off, I can pop that. Usually that's a one and done spot, even with Jet. Like, you can kind of dash, into this corner, but if you're a defender, you're still able to like wall bang, probably get the kill there. It's not a very safe spot, but with Chamber, you get your pick, you're out of there. Re-engage again. So that's a very powerful one and done spot that is not just one and done, it's a one and continue with Chamber. But yeah, you can play an off angle back here with this teleport, with this anchor. There's a lot of freedom. You can play here, it's really great. Actually, if you wanted, you could even get aggressive, and you push down, you could hold an angle here, get anybody going catwalk or walking in the mid, and still teleport out for free. So very good anchor, very useful for a number of scenarios. Now, second scenario that we'll talk about is putting one right here and playing this angle here. It's very hard for the defense to see you, obviously, because you got a head glitch there. But secondly, people don't clear that just super often, You're usually going here, just kind of going to your next spot. People aren't expecting it all the time, right? And you can get a free kill. But with this setup, what I like to do, have that slow trap down, have this anchor, and then I like to have an anchor back here.
Teleport's ready.
And of course, my slow trap is down there. So one thing that you can do is once you get your kill, teleport out, and then play this angle. And you just wait. You don't push out. You're not impatient. You're not swinging. First thing you see, right? You're playing this angle, and your slow trap is giving you time. Well, first off, if you get that kill there, you're slowing them down. They got to think about. They're like, oh shoot, somebody died there. But if your slow trap goes off, that gives you some time. It gives your team time to rotate. And in addition, this one is also going to give you some time because they're not going to get bombed down. You can hold this angle, you can play off of it. If it does go off, wait a second, swing, and you get a free kill there. You can slowly peek over here, kill enemies as they're going in. And if you wait long enough, okay, like let's say, for instance, 3 guys just rush in and fill the site. If your teammates are up there watching your angle and you get overwhelmed back here, with that slow trap and with this one, this trademark here, you probably have slowed them down enough so that you can teleport back out and get to safety and be with your team for retake. That has happened to me on a number of occasions, and it's just a very powerful setup. Now, you can use a variety of these teleport locations that I'm talking about together. Unfortunately, you cannot go from boathouse all the way to mid. You can't use that one. The range isn't far enough. So that's why you have to throw the teleporter here. And also, the reason I have it here as opposed to just out in the open is obviously it can get shot. You don't have the option to teleport back out again if your teleport is destroyed. And this is actually a pretty safe location for it. So keep that in mind. Additionally, another good little spot is right there, because if you play this corner in boathouse, you can actually teleport off of that one. And you actually, this whole little, I say boathouse, it's not, this is a boat, but that's back there's boathouse, whatever. The switch area, right? The door switch area. You can play this whole area and TP out if needed. So it's a very nice teleport. And if you want to teleport back, you can, have the option to, teleport here. It's just really nice, okay, to be able to do that. And you can hold an off angle and so forth. This is just another handy teleport location. Another place that I honestly didn't think about until I started making this video is here and like right here with the judge, okay? So if you wanted to play the judge, you could be very sneaky and just play this angle and surprise anybody, play off that trap, and swing anybody with the judge. If you got in trouble, teleport, and you're in a good short range distance again to get in any fight that you need to. So pretty useful little spot, honestly, that you could do with the judge. You could cheese around if you can't quite full buy, and you can buy a judge. You can help your team out that way. One other little judge location that you can do is you can throw one TP there and one TP here. And so as people, you can kind of hold this angle, and as people push in, you can shoot, fall back, whatever you need to do. But if you get overwhelmed, you can TP, and you're still right here in judge range. So you don't have to teleport back there. You can keep this judge and still have a short, shotgun distance with it. So that's a pretty powerful little setup for the judge. One other thing to talk about, I like to throw the teleport here when I'm doing this, but honestly, if you want to, actually let me throw another teleport down. So let's say, instead of just peeking this angle and holding, you can, with chamber, of course, go out here and hold this off angle. Sneak in slowly. People are always going to be, checking this corner and kind of worrying about that. And you can get a pick. If you're standing there, it can be a tough flick for somebody if they're not expecting. And you can just pop their head really easily and get out for free. One and done is not so done with chamber. It's great. If you want to play aggressive, that's a good teleporter. Lastly, I want to talk about a couple of teleports with the operator. Whether you're using the operator or your tour de force, whatever, a couple of useful angles and teleports. You have your market teleport. I like to hold this angle right here. It's an off angle. People aren't checking it usually, and you can really get the best of people here. Very much recommend this angle. It is pretty nasty. Another one setup I'll do if I have the tour de force is I'll set up here, pop this up here, teleport up here, and then have my knife out, make this jump, and because this teleporter is here, you're still within range, so you can play this off angle, which nobody is ever gonna clear with their, you know, their crosshair placement, you can get an easy pick, teleport out of there for free, and continue to hold this line, right? And it's a very, very good angle. So yeah, those are my 2 recommendations. One more angle that you could do on B site as I move my phone over here. Another good angle is you can have your teleporter down here, and you can op from here. And honestly, it's not a bad play. If you wanted to, for like this setup, you could, instead of having, you could take this trademark out and throw it right here. That would be a useful scenario to have it there instead of there. And you could have your other TP anchor.
That's not ready.
And have it back here. You don't want to throw it out here because you can get shot from somebody that pushes out from mid or like lurking A long or whatever. But yeah, if you're using the op or anything like that, you can get all the way back in this corner with that TP there. It's not going to get destroyed most likely in a safe spot, and you're there, and you can help yourself to as many kills as you like. So that's pretty much it for B site. Those are my favorite teleports. Pretty good guide. I don't know of any other like good teleports you could do. You can't throw it on top of there. Unfortunate, I know, but yeah, I mean that's some pretty good ones. You could. We already talked about the one up there. Yeah. So let's move on. You could throw, maybe get an off angle up here too, obviously. But other than that, those are going to be your best teleports, as far as I am aware. As far as mid goes, before we go to B, like you can obviously play this off angle. People may not be expecting you. You could play it, you know, if you're in a save round, you could play it with a Judge or a Bucky, and you know, get out of there. Like let's say maybe you want to play it like play off of this slow trap right here. They peek, boom, you teleport out, and you're in a position again to play anybody else. You're not in the greatest spot to, like, you know, watch this angle because you have a shotgun, but you know, it's not the worst situation. If you want to do a one and done, you can pick up their gun, you know, something like that. And even if you do want to get their gun, you can, and there's more people there, you can just teleport out. So it's really nice. Another good point about this anchor here, like let's say you don't want to use that one, but like let's say, you know, you want to use it in combination with this anchor. If you're playing off this anchor and the barrier goes down, you can kind of, you know, push out here and play in this corner, and you can still teleport, and you're still within range. So that's a very nice teleporter to have there. It's a nice anchor to have. You can play off this. You can, you know, kind of push down. You can kind of control mid pretty well, while still being able to teleport out to safety. So that's more or less mid for you. So now let's go over to A site. So on A site, there's a few different things you can do. If you really want a safe teleporter, if you want a safe TP, that's a pretty good spot in general. You know, or you could have it, you know, here. That might be better in some situations. That way, if somebody's lurking mid, you don't get shot. But anyway, so keep it there, somewhere in this vicinity. Now again, there's a number of things that you can do. You could cheese it out if you wanted to. Like, let's say you have an aggressive team and you want to throw a trademark on this side of the door.
A gift.
Some good trademark spots, by the way, before we get started. You can throw one here. You can throw one there. You can throw one right there. You could have one, you know, by tree. You could have it right here. And that way, if anybody walks through, you're notified pretty quickly. Those are honestly going to be your best spots. Now, if you're playing up, you know, under hill here and cheese in this corner, one spot that you might want to do is right here. Careful not to throw it in this spot, though, because there's a lot of area that's blocked off if it's there. This spot is definitely much better. So keep that in mind. But if you want to cheese hell, this is a great way to do it. You can play this side, or honestly, you could play the same
That's not ready.
kind of
Teleport's
style,
ready.
but over here. And, you know, get picks as they push up, have a good off angle here, and get out for free. That's one thing Jet cannot do there. You know, Jet's great and all for one and done spots and can get out in a lot of cases. This is not one of those cases. Maybe you dash, like, I mean, where are you going to dash to in hell, you know? You can't go anywhere. So this is the spot. Teleport out for free and live to fight another day and get a pick in the process. So that's one of the great things about Chamber. Another TP that you can do, you can, you know, place an anchor here.
All set up.
If you want to play anywhere in this vicinity, actually you might want to
That's
scoot
not
it over
ready.
a bit. That way you can play behind generator and still be in the teleporter vicinity. Like let's say for instance we have you know, this teleporter, we want to throw it back here.
Teleport's
We
ready.
can do that. That way we can peek this angle. We can peek this angle. We can even play hell, but you might not want to do that just so nobody destroys it. But you can even play the generator, man. You can play the Jenny, get out of there, and you're back home. So that's a very powerful TP spot, because pretty much anywhere on the main area of B site, you can teleport out and get away. Very, very good spot. Another way that you may want to play it is similar to B side.
Perfect.
Like we talked about with that off angle, you could, in theory, you could teleport out to tree if you wanted. But anyway, as the round starts and you have this barrier here, if you want to push out and have an off angle here and just sneak your way over, nobody, again, similar to B, if we want to see it to their perspective, you know, they're going to be checking here and holding this, and you know, a lot of times they're not looking against this wall. They might bring their crosshair over to here to check, you know, that section back here. What's that called? Wine? Yeah, you know, they might check wine, but they're not going to be probably checking all the way against this wall. But with Chamber, you can do that. You can push all the way out here and have time before they see you. Unless they have like a brim stem or a neon that's going crazy or something. You're probably going to be fine. Even if they do, and you get caught with your pants down, you can just get out of there. Because this little teleporter is awesome. Now instead of teleporting there, you could teleport with another one and done spot. And, you know, get another pick as they come in. Right? This is a great angle. But you're probably not living if you know, get caught there. So what I like to do is I will, you know, a lot of times I'll actually play this. I'll play under hell. I'll teleport back. Except for when you're coming up from sight, you can only place it like right there, and then you have to go back over here. And then I like to pick my teleport up
That's not ready.
and then place it down a little farther in the corner so that it's not, you know, a danger of somebody seeing it before they see me. I can get out of there and then play really aggressive, really hold sight. I think that's what Chamber does best, is locking down, because he is a Sentinel. And there you go. One important thing to note, if you are playing up here, you do not want to have your slow orb, your trap. You don't want to have your trademark set right here. And the reason why, you want to have it set up here. But the reason why is because when somebody's walking through here, and let's say they're just bebopping through here, like maybe you have like a cipher or something, cipher cage, smoke, whatever, and they're walking through here. You don't want their attention drawn to this side. You don't want them to say, "Oh, something hit me from this side," and see your legs and, you know, shoot you. You want everything mentally to draw them the other direction. So if they're walking out, this trap goes off. You may even want to have it like pushed out a little bit, say like to right here, so that it triggers a little bit early, like as they walk out, and you can, you know, step out and shoot them. You know, however you want to do it. But either way, think about, in all the situations on B side too, where is the attention being drawn? If you're playing like a one and done spot, where do you want their attention to be? You know, so set up the traps accordingly. So, now that we've done that, I want to talk about a few opping locations with Chamber. As he is a fantastic opper. One of the off angles is there. You can play it like this. There's a great off angle. You can throw another teleport over here. This is another great spot. So, yeah, keep this one in mind as well. Kind of similar to that one, but it's just in a different location. Another great teleporter location. Actually, I would keep that anchor back there, if you wanted.
That's not ready. Teleport's ready.
Anyway, you can play this spot with the op. Very good place to fix. But I would, instead of playing there, I would like, you know, place it a little more closer to here. Because if you see it from their perspective again, it's kind of the same story. You know, they're checking here, checking that box, checking that one, you know, kind of heaven. And then usually they'll check this side of the generator and then this side. And somebody to be standing right there on top is just not very common. And so again, you got a free kill there if you got an op. I mean, it's an easy peasy, you know, get out of jail free, continue to offer heaven, and that sort of thing. So, absolutely killer places with the op. There, and there. They're just great off angles that you're gonna win with, you know. You could even have your teleporter here, you know, to get out.
That's not ready. Teleport's ready.
All that creative, but you know, it's easy to get a pick and get out again for free there as well. As far as other spots, let's see. I'm trying to rack my brain to remember anything else I use frequently. You can, in fact, teleport off of, you know, this teleporter, even from here, you know. If you want to play this angle, you can still use that teleporter and, you know, get out to, obviously not there, but, you know, you can be creative with it. That, you can teleport off this teleport. You can also have, you know, maybe you want to throw your teleporter here. That does also give you some freedom. You can watch a tree, or maybe like you don't want to throw. Maybe you want to wait until after the round starts, and you can throw a trademark there, so you're notified a little bit earlier, and you can hold this angle pretty well. You can hold here and here. That's not a bad spot for it. And even with that teleporter there, you still have the luxury of playing generator here, you know, fighting here. So even on retake, actually, this is a pretty convenient spot. If you're coming back in, and let's say
I'm too far.
If you're coming back in the site, you can throw one teleport anchor here,
Teleport's ready.
and then throw the other one here. And as you're coming back on the site and retaking, you can actually, you know, if you get in trouble, you can reset and maybe go up heaven. That's a very safe spot generally, and in order to round this corner, that's a very good teleporter for retake. Now, if you do have a teleporter set up here, that's not a bad one, and it does actually, in fact, reach into this corner of hell. So, like, let's say, just so we're not confusing it, like you can hide here and actually swing out just a little bit, not very far. It is within range. You can even scoot it a little bit closer, obviously, if need be. You know, say
that's not ready.
Here.
Teleport's ready.
And that way you get all of this area. You can play this angle if somebody's coming up, and still teleport away and be all right. So there's some you know, teleport locations that you can do, I think, that are helpful. You know, you can play around with it. Now, one thing that nobody ever checks, like let's say you're holding, this is more on offense, so this is a little bit of a bonus, but if you're, you know, if you're holding sight, rare is it, okay, that anybody will check this spot. So let's say you're here, you have bomb planted there, you can hold this angle really well, or if you know they're going to come from heaven, you can have your teleporter here and hold right there. Let's say you have door closed, you can just hold that, have a trap set up somewhere, protect you. You know, you can really swing, get out for free, and then swing again. It's a very, very nice little setup. Well, that just about covers it, but one more thing I do want to share. There's a pretty good little setup. It is a pretty good little trick. So let's say you want to have this TP set up, you know, that we talked about, that has so many good angles, and you want to go back over here, and you want to set up, you want to throw this TP, okay? So you can hold this angle. With this setup, you can hold A, and you can hold mid, right? And you can hold, with a snap of a finger, you can hold B and hold mid from a different angle. So this is a very powerful setup. Now, I don't necessarily advocate for this kind of setup very often, but on Ascent and with this layout, it's actually very powerful. Like you can you know, rotate with a snap of a finger, and be in a pretty darn good position too. Like you're usually not gonna get seen from, you know, from there. You could set it up, you know, just on the edge too if you wanted, and you know, maybe have a little better of a trademark. But anyway, you get the idea. You can swing, peek mid. You can even, like, if you have the teleport set up here, you can even, you know, push out to mid. So, like, let's say, for instance, that you're opping, and you, you know, you want to hold this angle and get this shot. Boom. Like, let's say you miss and you want a second opportunity at it. You can even cheese up here and get it from there. I mean, that would be it works. This is just a very powerful setup to go from one site to the other very quickly. You can literally cover mid, A, and B with this setup. So yeah, Chamber's super great. He's very good on Ascent. Honestly, it's one of my favorite maps to play him on. And I hope that this guide's been helpful to you. If it has, leave a like, subscribe, because I'm going to do some more maps with Chamber. But give me some feedback. Let me know whether or not you like it. So anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you next time.